Hey everybody, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. We've got two really good reasons why Hiluxes, the N70 Hilux, compared to say the 120 and 150 Prados, is better. There's two ways that they are always consistently better. So I'm going to tell you about those, and we'll have a look around, a quick look under this Hilux. It's only got about 140 odd K on it. It's 2014, so it's about 10 years old. We'll have a quick look around at a couple of possible issues. There is a couple of issues. Couple of them are yellow, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, what are the two components that are better about a Hilux than a Prado? Well, if you watch our inspection or purchase inspection service playlist, whatever it's called, you know, the one you'd look at if you service your own vehicle or you're looking at buying a Prado or a Hilux, you'd get into that playlist, look at all those inspections again and again, and it'd get really boring, but you'd really get to know what things are meant to look like well. And you'll notice that on all the Prados, we have that sweat on the bottom of the boot, you know. Look at this one. This one's a Hilux, right? Look on this boot here. I mean, the car gets used a bit off-road. You can see it gets mud and then it gets washed. You know, you miss a few bits, as you can see. I'm showing you the bits that you can miss, so another bonus of the video. So don't forget to press the like button. It would be good, actually, if you don't mind, you know. Better for you, better for me. Happy days. Probably needs tyres soon. But so it gets a wash down, but you're still going to have that oil stain on the boot, but it's clearly not there on this Hilux. And today's revelation, once again, obvious, because that's what I notice on the Hiluxes. I notice that hardly ever is there any oil. Like, I can't even think that there is any oil. I mean, we see a lot more Prados than Hiluxes, but no oil there. So the steering rack in the Hilux seems to be a lot better, a lot more reliable. It's not a big deal in the Prado, but you get a slow leak. Just leaks out past the end seals into the boot. It's a little bit untidy, and if you go to the wrong place, get a roadworthy or a service, they might tell you need a new steering rack, and it could cost you thousands unnecessarily, in my opinion. So that's the first one. That's the number one. The drive shafts actually look really good and nice and clean as well. Once again, genuine quality. Remember that, genuine parts. But it's not that. What else is really good? Now, if you look at those playlists and see those inspections, you'll see me check the lower control arm bushes on a lot of Prados, and they're always cracked. When I go like this, you can see all the rubber, it's cracked and deteriorated. Guess what? Look at that. Looks like a new one, doesn't it? How long have you had this car?
8 years. 8
years? Have you ever replaced the lower control arms? No. There you go, right, everybody? These are the genuine, original lower control arms. They haven't been replaced. So let's have a look at the next one. There's a bit of mud in there, but you can see it hasn't got that twisting damage like what you see regularly in the Prados. Look, this one's nice and clean, even better to look at, right? Try and hold it steady for you. Come on, hit the like button for the camera work. Look at that. Beautiful. Hard to do, actually, but anyway. So two things you don't have to worry about on a Hilux: lower control arms and lower control arm bushes, and your steering rack. Now, a couple of problems with this vehicle that are unusual as well, so don't go anywhere yet. I always say, on the Prados in particular, we recommend the front wheel bearing replacement at about 200,000 Ks, because that's where we start to hear and see problems, whether it's a bit of play, a bit of noise. That's not to say if you're lucky they won't last 300,000 or 400,000 Ks, so you only need to do it as prevention if you're going more than 100 Ks from home, is my recommendation. People that do trips and stuff like that, because they can go bad quickly and you don't want to have that happen when you're on a trip. This one, the passenger side, has not got any play in it. I don't know of any noise. I haven't driven the vehicle yet. You haven't noticed any noise that sounds like bad tyres, wheel bearings? No, I'm getting the nod no. So, but we did notice there's some play in this driver's side wheel bearing. Hey, Johnny, you got a sec? Any chance you can just give this a... Before I grabbed it at the bottom and gave it a wobble, and you could actually hear it. It's not that bad that you'll see it, I don't think, but let's have a look. You can actually see it. Right, so there you go, 147, 148K, something like that. Yep. And we've got a wheel bearing that's got some play in it. So I'm going to revise my, you know, it mainly seems to be worse on Pro. It's the same, it's a different bearing. I say it's the same engineering, the size and all that. This one, they've got a sensor, a tone wheel there, and you can see this ABS sensor here. On the Prado bearing, same bearing, but it's built into the bearing, long story short. But yeah, so you better change those as prevention if you do trips on your Hiluxes as well. Maybe the Hiluxes don't do as many trips because we certainly don't sell as many Hilux front wheel bearing assemblies as we do Prado. The Prado ones pump out. We've got heaps in stock. Hilux ones, we've got about, I don't know, 3 or 4 pairs in stock, something like that, you know. Sometimes they just go woof, like someone will see this video and then I'll sell about 20 sets. But anyway, each to their own. You can do what you want, get them where you want. Now, let's have a look at these Bilsteins, because the pattern is when a car comes in with Bilsteins, and we don't sell or install Bilsteins, but there's usually average 2 leaking out of 4. So let's have a bit of a look. It's normally 1 front, 1 rear. And secretly, I've already had a look at this vehicle, so I already know which ones are leaking. But unusually, the front one, that one's not leaking, unless it's been washed off really well. Let's just have a look up here. Little bit of wetness, but look, I'm not going to call that a leak, right? Benefit of the doubt, right? This one, yeah, it looks clean at that side. Looks clean around there. Yeah. Pretty soft ride though, I think. Usually people describe it as handles like a boat. So I don't know about this one yet. We haven't asked that question yet. It's not a drip on the bottom or anything like that. It's a little bit of wetness there. Is that a leak or not? You determine whether that's a leak or not. A little bit of wetness on the back here. Remembering it got washed down after a trip. I'd say not that long ago, that trip. What month was it? Was it this year?
It was about 500 k's ago. 500
k's ago. So in the last week or two? Is that, oh no, 500 k's for you. A couple of years, last year? Okay, cool, there you go. So it's a second cart just for trips and that sort of thing. Right, what have we got here? Look, see, this is what I mean. It's just the standard Bilstein thing, right? So just have a bit of a giggle. It's not, it's not the end, but see this one, it's wet all the way to the bottom. So this is the worst one on the vehicle. That is a leaking, shock absorber, and it shouldn't be like that. I've seen worse. And of course, that'll deteriorate the rubbers as well. And someone's probably going to have to say it in the comments. These have been recycled and they've been put on the wrong way. So the stone guard, you can see that's at the bottom, ideally would face forward and be at the bottom around this side, because that's where it would get hit with rocks. And then this one with the stone guard further up would be handy over here, because it'd be, instead of down there doing nothing behind the diff, it doesn't get hit. I'm not saying you need it, I'm just saying they've been sort of switched around, whatever. So anyway, all good. What else have we got under here? 150k Hilux, looks pretty standard. Nothing exciting here. Bit of a bigger exhaust, I've just noticed. Iron Man. Okay, so just beware, each to their own with big exhausts. But the turbo specialist tells us that bigger exhaust can allow overboost. Overboost is what does the vanes and damages the turbo, right? So just beware of that possibility. So if you're going to do it, keep your old one in case you change your mind, or put it up on Oz Hilux Crew for spare exhausts, or Oz Prado Crew, depending on what car it is, because some people pick up a vehicle with an exhaust like this and they just want the standard one on there because it's quieter, or because they believe it might help their turbo last longer. These are not like Commodores, these center bearings, never really see a problem with them, but eventually it could be something you need to keep an eye on, like the unis, depending how much grease is being put in. This one looks like it gets lubricated. So, the key is at service, or if you're doing trips, mud, dirt, dust, water, probably give it a little pump after each trip, before and after, whatever. No need to go crazy and put heaps in. It's more about doing it more often if you're in those sort of conditions. Turbo's bone dry, so that's good, nothing to worry about there. Front brake pads, about 60% at least, I'd say. Let's have a quick look at the rear brakes, because they don't normally do that in these videos, and some people might find it interesting. I'll just put this light down because I only need one. Just take this cover off here, and what you can do, you can actually easily see. Right, I'll just move position so you can see the drum moving. All right, so what you're looking at there, that first piece at the end of my finger there, that's the shoe, the metal part of the shoe, and then the lining, what's left of the lining. And you can see there's actually plenty of meat there. Now, a lot of people leave those off. Water's going to get in there anyway, because it's not a sealed unit. Water can get in between there. And what I actually like to do, although I've got a bit of OCD problem, I love to put them back on. Imagine if they're off all the time. It's kind of good, and I just pushed the other one in. It wasn't in properly either. If they're off all the time, because the water's going to get in anyway in a bulk hole, it's all going to get in between here, right? See how that turns there? It's not sealed. What this allows, when you wash it out, and if you've got that top one out, is to stick your hose in there and let all the water go in there and wash all the dust and debris out, and it'll run out the bottom, because once again, remember, it's not sealed, it's just going to run out. So anyway, something to think about. But you can put them back in, because that's what I do on my car, because those OCD problems. But there's heaps of cars with them missing, and you just go, whatever, it doesn't make any difference. You don't need that cover there, right? So try and show you. Right, plenty of meat there as well. So, you know, once again, it's just a Toyota Hilux, 10 years old. Nothing to see here, pretty boring. A little bit extra dirt to clean. Oh, one other thing we noticed, this was a little bit dirty, so gonna get the brake cleaner. Hey Johnny, you know how you love the brake cleaner? Can you do this diff breather for me, please? And just give that a bit of a clean up. A little bit more water when washing, just to get this off and that stuff. Not too bad at all, but, you know, a little bit more. And that's another boring inspection video that included the two things that are kind of better about a Hilux than a Prado. So there you go. Careful of this, just plastic. So depending how rough you do your off-roading, you might want to get an aftermarket bash plate. The K-On have got that Strenex one. Really awesome. There you go, little bonus for people that hang around to the end, if you didn't know about that. So it's 3mm. It's stronger and lighter. I think it's something like 40% lighter, 70% stronger. I'm making up numbers here, but something like that. So stronger and lighter. And of course, it's going to help protect things like that. Not that that's been hit or we see those hit, but you can see you could quite easily get a bit, if you had a bigger rock that you lined up, you know, you want to line up your rocks probably over. I'm not teaching you how to drive in this video. That's in 4x4 Adventures, our other YouTube channel. Catch you there, catch you here, catch you on the next video. See you then.